Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. My name is Nick, and today guys we're going to be jumping down into the world of Cardano, taking a look at what has been going on most recently and what I would expect to happen next. As I get into this video, if you find it useful and informative, hit the like button. I really do appreciate that. If you happen to be new to the channel, then why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all notifications, and in doing so you'll be kept up to date with absolutely everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. And if you have not yet joined us in Discord, links in the description down below. It's a fantastic community talking crypto 24/7. It's completely free, and I don't think you'll be disappointed by what you find down there, so why not go ahead and check it out today. Okay guys, let's waste no more time and let's jump right on into this one, right? So Cardano paired up with USDT on the hourly chart. Binance is the data source, and you know, we had seen a little bit of a pullback since yesterday, right? And I was trying to hint at this yesterday with how I felt that this was a little bit of a fake pump to the upside, and I still feel there's a lot more room to the downside to be had. But for now, we're kind of, you know, in this state of flux where it can go in almost any other direction. Now, if I take this move, you can I think I showed you this yesterday. We had this kind of ABC function down. We had this ABC coming up here yesterday. We finished this one, and now we're looking at tracking down. I think essentially, though, it's probably best to look at this slightly differently. And it really depends on what Bitcoin does, obviously. But I think for the most part, it's probably going to be looking something like this. We're going to probably complete some kind of move to the downside like this, okay? And then from there, we might move up if we're lucky. Now, essentially, like I said, there's more room to the downside than there is to the upside, right? And this is because we still have the lows of about 30 cent ADA scoped out. That hasn't changed. But here you can see that we're probably looking at around 50 cent. And before the next kind of major significant bounce. And if we look at 50 cent on this, we can see that's a reasonable area of support to be found in that range. So we could be looking at that kind of pullback right there, but I don't think it'll be a straight line. We'd probably end up with some kind of bounce and then some kind of pullback down. It might be that we first move down a little bit more, then we bounce, and then we kind of land down here, something like that. Okay, you always move around in waves, as I call them, but you know, don't move in straight lines essentially. Okay, so I'm thinking that is the most likely scenario here. I mean, alternatively, which I don't think it counts, you would try maybe something like this if you wanted to be bullish, and you'd move up like that, but I don't think it counts, specifically because you wouldn't have a good wave count here to allow for that kind of run to the upside there. Okay, so for the most part, I'm expecting downward action here. Now, if we take a look at the stochastic RSI here on the hourly, you can see here it's kind of progressing up a little bit, and it's not really doing too much in the price movement. Nobody's really that interested in buying under these kind of conditions. Now, as we come up into the 4 hourly, you can see it's corrected down quite nicely. So again, you might start to see a little bit of a bounce to the upside soon. And then the 8 hourly obviously is about halfway through, has a lot of room to come down first. And the daily's right up there still. So we are expecting some volatility, some pretty extreme volatility on the ADA side of things. Now, obviously, with the hard fork event, it has basically got a little bit of pricing in here going on. Usually this stuff with Cardano happens beforehand, and on the actual day, you get negative price action, historically speaking. So we should be, you know, open to the idea that actually what we're going to witness is going to be, you know, some volatility to the upward side before the hard fork combinator event, and then as soon as that's done or launches on the day of launch, I expect the price to collapse hard. Okay, that's historically what has happened. I'm not saying that's going to guarantee what's going to happen this time, but that's what history tells us. It tells us that on Cardano's hard fork combinator events, there's lots of action, price action beforehand, and then bam, it collapses hard afterwards. / on the day, sell the news event kind of thing. So we want to be aware of those things. Now, if I come up into the 8 hourly, here you can see this downward move taking us to about 30 cent. And again, you know, we could also take a look at this as a significant bounce to the upside here, right? And then that pulls us back down. And again, you end up with this really nice wave count. Nothing moves in straight lines. Okay, you can see these happen a few times in different areas. You've got one right in the middle there as well. So essentially, this is actually a really good time to start thinking about that move down and the accumulation that will come at the end of it. By going down to 30 cent, essentially what that means is about 90% from all-time high. So it's definitely not even in the the worst end of things either. Most altcoins, as they kind of pull back down from their all-time high at this point, will be 95% less from their previous all-time high. So ADA's actually held up better than most under those kind of circumstances. Not as good as something like Bitcoin, which obviously is not doing anything like this at all. It's about 68%, something like that. So it is holding up incredibly well in comparison to many of these others. With that being said, it's different kind of money nowadays. It's not retail money getting scared and shaken out of the market. It is institutional players and whales that are accumulating other people's Bitcoins. So Bitcoin's on a different path now, and Cardano, I think, is holding up well because it's got a really strong community behind it. But I do expect it to pull back down. And we've got options, right? You could sell and buy back cheaper. You could hodl, stake it, earn passively, and accumulate more, which is a fantastic strategy that many people into Cardano do. Obviously, do bear in mind, I'm not a financial advisor. I cannot give you financial advice, but there are many different strategies that you could employ to see your portfolio grow during these moments of volatility. So I'll leave that with you guys. You can check out our Medium post if you want to know more about the different strategies. Join us in Discord and all of that kind of good stuff as well. But yeah, so I'm going to leave the video there, guys. I'm still not very well. So I wanted to kind of give you my updated views on what's going on with Cardano. So if you have found it useful and informative, hit the like button. I really do appreciate that. If you happen to be new to the channel, then do go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all notifications, and in doing so, you will be kept up to date with absolutely everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. With all that said, done and out of the way, I hope everyone has a fantastic day, and I'll catch you all in the next one.